Santiago of MMA On. Today we're joined by our sponsored fighter, the one and only Sunshine himself. He's probably watched Remembered Titans way too many times. We have on Cris Lencioni. Chris, how's it going today?
How's it going today? It's going pretty good. We're having a good morning. This is a smooth morning for me. Normally I have like a really hard workout at like 8 or 9 in the morning, and I have to wake him up. And I don't even want to be up at 8 or 9. So this is cool. Like Tuesday, Thursdays, we get to work out in the afternoon and in the evening. So I'm vibing.
Awesome, man. Awesome, man. We just had a conversation about, you being a full-time fighter, full-time dad, full-time husband. How hard has it been to balance all of those things in your life at this stage in your career?
Well, I had a really shitty childhood, and I think there's a lot of shitty dads out there. There's shitty moms too, but there's a lot of shitty dads. And I told myself, I was like, man, I can't wait to be a dad one day. And when I'm going to be a dad, I'm not going to be like these absent fathers that I see. And I'm not picking on anyone in particular, but like I meet a lot of people in mixed martial arts, and I just couldn't imagine some of the things that these people do and like the lack of family time they have. Like that's like, dude, fighting is cool and all, but like your family's forever, your brain's forever, all that shit. Like fighting is such a small blip in your life. And sir, I'm trying to do an interview here. I love it. I love fighting. I never found a sport that I was so good at when you combined all of them together. But it's definitely a balance, man. It's a balancing act. And so I'm excited to have a nice run this summer that I'm going to go on, at this fight against this UFC guy and Contender Series, I think in the summer. I don't see how I don't get in that. So we'll see where that takes us. I'm really excited for that. It's kind of like go broke or go home. I have like, I'm kind of tired of the bullshit. The last 2 years of like people pulling out, and the only fight I got was on a 4-day notice. You know what I mean? That kind of pissed me off.
Mm-hmm. For sure. So, like, obviously, this is a quick turnaround from February to April. Are you trying to make up for lost time in a sense?
Dude, I'll take any fight that anyone will accept. I can't say certain things, dude, but it's been impossible to get me a fight. It's been impossible. You know what I mean? Like, it's not my fault either, It ain't my team's fault. It's people on the other side. No one wants to fight me. And if they do, they want to do it on 4 days notice. I even got a rematch with that guy on 4 days notice. Yeah, the one on 4 days notice. It was going to be on 14 days notice. And we heard nothing back. Too much time for me to get ready. Because, I mean, like that dude had a full fight camp and then lost an opponent. And I stepped in and I almost beat him. You know what I mean? Like he didn't beat me, but he didn't really. I mean, he won, but it's like there's a way to win and then there's a way to not lose. You know what I'm saying? So,
and he was coming off a full training camp, right?
Every time I teach, he does this. He can't talk yet. He just turned 9 months, but he goes on like a rant. He like knows I'm talking. But yeah, I'm in training camp. So like that fight, I was just trying to like manage my time, and he was babies go through stages, and he was in a whole new stage of like, I'm going to move around and eat real food. And it was just kind of crazy. And like his hours changed of sleeping. So my hours changed. And of course, like I take a nice little breather. Like I'm a human. I'm like, damn, I'm going to take like maybe a week and a half off. Maybe a little Nate Diaz, maybe a little chocolate. They had these new chocolate raspberries at the store. Just being a human. Boom. Fight offer after 2 years. I'm like, get out of here, dude. I couldn't say no.
Mm-hmm. And with that full send opportunity, you said that, as we can see, you're a happy dad. So with you and full send, I mean, that's the ultimate partnership. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, but like, what would it have meant to you to become a full send fighter? And you think they might have to do a second one or like a third one over down the line?
I'm not even worried about it, dude. Well, if I get in the UFC, there's no way I don't get that sponsorship. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things. I'm not like Colby Covington though. They're gonna ask me to like punch some. I don't know, dude. They're gonna ask me to do some crazy shit. I can't even imagine what it is. I was a lot like them when I was younger, I guess, like 18. But like it's been like almost 10 years. But it doesn't mean I can't still hang. I can't do some funny shit. But I'd fit pretty good with the happy dad thing. Maybe not so much the Nelk boys. They're not too bad, are they? Those Nelk boys? I looked into them. They're not too bad.
Well, they might have set up Jorge Masvidal and Colby Covington. They might have set that up.
I think they did.
Sure.
I think they did, but yeah, they might be bad. Oh well.
Yeah. I mean, you do fit their beard. A happy dad, obviously that goes good with you. But moving on from that,
Yeah.
you're facing former UFC fighter Drako Rodriguez on
Yeah.
April 16th, I believe. What do you make of this matchup?
He seems like a pretty good guy. He seems like a really strong, like just all around fighter, which is like what you need to be in the UFC. I think like he just had some unlucky matches. You know what I mean? I know how that feels. So I'm excited for it. I think too that he's moving up in weight, so that's exciting because maybe he was one of those guys that did worse at a smaller weight class. So you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Sure. I have this thought that I'm trying to get out of my head. Yes, thank you. Yeah, and I think he might be even better at featherweight, and I think it's in his backyard, and I'm cool with that because I was born in Iowa. My grandfather, like my adopted grandfather, my biological father, we have a couple of like gravestones in Iowa. So maybe I haven't visited those in like 15, 20 years. So like maybe that's a good idea to go see that too. It's kind of a nice thing. I'd love to bring him, but I'm not going to be that asshole with a baby on the plane, and not when I'm cutting weight, dude. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Listen how
Yeah, for
chatty they
sure.
are. Could you imagine a 5-hour flight with this?
Oh yeah. Is
Could you
is
imagine?
Victor, yeah, is Victor gonna be in your corner?
Yeah, I think so. If his wife stops yelling at him every time we play Call of Duty, man, he's on the
Hmm.
shit. He's in the doghouse. I hope so. Victor's one of my best friends. He's the godfather to my kid, and he was in fighting for a long time, but I don't think he like went pro. He made a decision like a lot of people do, like, oh, do I really want to do this? And he had a really successful business at the time and kids, and so like it's really cool to see that like someone that did it and was happy because everyone's like, oh, it's fight or die, in the MMA industry is so stupid and toxic, dude. These guys are like, I don't want to say fuck in front of my kid, but they're fucking insane. Like they have no concept of reality or anything outside their circle. You couldn't have them coach a kids class, let alone like, I bet they barely function in supermarkets. They're insane, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Go ask them to buy you some toilet paper. They'll probably pick a fight with the old lady. They make us look bad.
Nice, nice. And then obviously with the last fight, you almost choked out Don Shanis, I believe, in that last round.
Yeah.
It's kind of saved by the bell. But what lessons did you take away from that fight, if any?
Well, dude, I've never had a guy who I was pretty chill with not touch gloves. That really fucked me up because that's like the international sign for like, now I'm never going to do that again. I'm never reaching out to touch gloves. It like totally fucked my whole flow up. I was like, bitch, you don't want to touch gloves? Ooh, you motherfucker. And then I pressed him very quickly. And he's a really short guy. So he lured me in with his T-Rex arms and hit me with this really weird like hook. And it just caught me right behind the fucking back of my head. And, after not fighting for 2 years, okay, hold on. Sorry. I had to wait a second there. After not fighting for 2 years, I was like, really, I felt like there was just little timing. It wasn't rust, but like, God, there's just little timing things, man, that you just don't get when you're not in the cage. When I fought 8 times in 9 months, I was 8-0, and I fought a ton of badass dudes as an amateur. I mean, they were all tough, years of experience. But I think what did me so much, like, had so much success was that I was in the cage every month almost. And so I really want to get back to that if I'm going to do this fighting thing. Otherwise, I'm going to just take some time off and train and run my academy and not really train like that. So,
Hmm. Has being a fighter and a father like changed you? Like being those at the same time. Like obviously in your last fight, we didn't get to see much of it because you were coming on short notice. But how much has that changed you as a fighter, being a father?
um, well, so when you have a kid, your body like dumps all these hormones in your body, man. It just like you're supposed to bond with your child. It's like Animal Kingdom. So you're like, a lot of estrogen goes through your body, but also you're like a dude, so you're like not sure what's going on. Like I think I cried like fuck like 8 or 9 times that first month he was born. Like, and I haven't cried. I've cried maybe 2 or 3 times in my life. We used to get hit for crying. I mean, we would get hit when we would flinch. I mean, it was really not a pleasant childhood, which I don't really like to waste time on because I'm not one of those guys where I just want like, ooh, my childhood was bad, so give me love and attention. But like, my wife was like, we got to watch Coco, and I'm like, you lady, I don't want to watch Coco. Have you ever seen Coco?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Obviously, with me being Hispanic, yeah, I've watched
So
it.
she makes me watch Coco right before I leave for fight camp, and I'm just, I'm just bawling, dude. I'm like, God, this sucks. Like, but it's good, man. You got to be in touch with your feelings, and I think as a fighter, it made me less of a fighter, and kind of reminded me that I'm a martial artist. Are you feeling better now? You feeling better? I'm a martial artist first. The fighting is like, that's not really what I am. It's not a fighter. So that's what I think it is. I enjoy that.
Mm-hmm. I believe you mentioned a while ago that you were wanting to return in the summer after this fight. Like, is that the certain time frame right now?
Yeah. Well, his birthday and my birthday are like 1 month apart exactly. We're both the 28th. He's June 28th. I'm July 28th. I like to like have some fun and like live my life and like maybe have a birthday cake and go to the beach and like I don't even drink, but like maybe some soda. I don't know. Like just you can't do that shit when you're in fight camp because you're a professional. You gotta like not do anything fun. So I want to bust these fights out, man. I'm hoping to smack this dude up and move on and then get a fight in May and then fight in June and then reevaluate where everything's at. I really want to fight the next 3 months. So
Awesome, man. Awesome. Active Chris is a good Chris. Obviously, is there like a certain promotion that you want to fight for? Obviously, UFC's, I feel like the goal for you, but any regional promotions that you kind of have on your bucket list to fight in?
yeah, I was talking with a few. One of them had like some connections with a company that I'm not very happy with. I've been in MMA for a couple of years, so I kind of know who's real
Yeah,
and
I
who's
think I
not.
know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I had this old management team that really screwed me over, and they took a bunch of money from me, and that really well, I mean, it pissed me off, obviously. So like,
Hmm.
this is funny, man. If you get a deal, like a sponsor deal, like let's say you and I are talking, right? You and I are talking, you sponsor me. But let's say this company just said, hey, man, thanks so much for what you're doing. I think maybe you should pay Chris a little more. And you're like, oh, no, I'm good. Like we have a good understanding. Um, they would go, okay, well, I helped negotiate your sponsorship. You owe me some money. I'm like, dude, that's my sponsorship, right? So that's what the beef
Hmm.
was with that one. And then they also manage Hayabusa. So then Hayabusa sponsors me for a couple fights and I never get payment for that. That was cool. So fuck that company. I won't even name their names. But this totally it's totally like inappropriate like business practice, man. I know a lot of businesses outside of the MMA world, I know very successful businessmen and like they look at our industry like a joke, you know?
Hmm.
It's kind of
Totally
it's
get you
insane.
on that.
So I mean, like honestly, all you got to do is like, here's a couple easy blueprints for success in like opening an academy, right? Don't fuck kids. Don't fuck people's wives. Don't be a fucking racist scumbag. Don't say fuck 4 times in front of your kid. Uh, uh, but like really, like that's it. And then be nice. Care about what you're doing. That's about it. You know, and that you can't even get that. And then same with MMA like sponsors and businesses, like just basic business practices will set you so far ahead because everybody's trying to screw everybody over and it gets so old.
Hmm.
I don't have time for it.
For sure, for sure. Then just to dive into your academy, your academy has one of the best wall designs I've ever seen. There's like Legend of Zelda, there's
Yeah.
Bowser. Like, who came up with that? Did you paint that yourself, or did you hire somebody to get it done?
No, I hired a guy to do it, but I told him what I wanted. Um, and I wish I could give him more credit, but I paid him. I gave him extra during COVID too, like because he was down bad. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And then that guy never showed back up and finished the job, so that was kind of a bummer. Actually, stole a bunch of mats too. I gave him like, everybody was having a hard time during COVID, and this guy's like, "Hey, can I get some mats?" So I gave him some mats for at home, and then just to borrow until he could come back. And then this guy never came back. And I was like, wow, that's awesome. So dude, I'm not gonna stop helping people, dude, just because I get burned. But it's like the old expression: is you give someone $20, you never see him again. That's $20 well spent. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. For
You know
sure,
what I'm
for sure.
saying? You know what I'm saying?
Awesome. And then, obviously, with Chael Sonnen, you had some words to say about that situation. If he got kicked off ESPN for the time being, what are your thoughts on of this controversy surrounding him?
I've been in 2 lawsuits in my life. One of them was with the first apartment complex that I moved into in Portland. They had a serious infestation of bed bugs, and I wanted to leave, and it was breaking leaves. So I got into this like, whoa, whoa. You don't ever hit a baby when they're coughing, by the way. You wait until they're done, and if there's no sound, that's baby CPR 101. As a guy who's been in a couple lawsuits, I'm not like Chael or anything, but I know that people will try to sue you for anything. I don't know any details about his case, but I've known Chael for a long time. and so is a lot of other people in this industry. And that just sounds like the most ridiculous fucking story I've ever heard of. I mean, this guy, you know, when someone's a liar, they like tell more than they need to tell. If you read that story, as my wife was spitting blood sliding down the wall after I'd just been choked. It's like, dude, if you had just been choked, you wouldn't be there. And if your wife had been hit by Chael Sonnen, she wouldn't have a jaw. You know what I'm saying? That shit would be dislocated. I have no idea what happened. I haven't talked to him or anything like that, you know? Entrapment is serious. I said entrapment too, and everybody got really worked up about that word. I mean, do they not understand what entrapment is? It doesn't have to like just reside or just Dude, it's so funny. He always messes me up, man. He never talked, and then all of a sudden just started talking. I think it's because it's my fault because I talk a lot. You know, entrapment is all about getting someone to do something they weren't gonna do. So like if someone's antagonizing you or something, or with you or saying things about you, I mean, look at the Will Smith shit, right? Whether that's real or not.
It has to be real.
Yeah, I think it's real. My wife, all last night, we had a whole argument about it. I was like, no, it's real. She's crazy. That's a crazy bitch. His wife's a crazy bitch. She looked at him and went, you better go kill that motherfucker. And so he had to get up and he's like, damn, I did not want to do that. You know, she's mean. She's a mean lady.
I don't want to. Oh, yeah, sorry. I don't want to keep you guys for too long, but one more question. What kind of music have you been vibing to for this fight camp? And what's going to be your walkout song come April?
And I have a really large Hispanic community in my city. And I grew up in Fresno too, which is a very like 70%, like I was a minority. And so they work so hard and they really like pump me up, and they're teaching my baby Spanish. So we've just been listening to all these different like Hispanic artists. And so that Agua song I came out to was by like this guy Tawny or something. It's like a SpongeBob SquarePants song. It was so much fun. I got a lot of these bangers, man. They got some bangers. You just got to like listen to them and make sure that they're not saying anything too bad. So I don't know. It might be something like that. I just like baby making music, dude. That just gets me fired up, you know, to grapple somebody.
Most definitely. Well, thank you, Cris, and the other Cris for the time today. Did you have anything to say to the fans out there watching?
It's a fun ride. Keep watching. I always make my fights exciting. Yeah. Follow us on the social media, MMA Island, Sunshine, Cris Sunshine MMA. My baby will have one day. His middle name's Santina. That's nickname for Sunny. It's Italian. No big deal.